that it would never happen to me. No way. It would never, ever, ever happen to me. I'd never let anybody put their hands on me. And when I met my ex-partner, I was quite a confident person. I was quite confident. I felt that I knew myself, that I was quite like bubbly and outgoing. But that just really quickly changed. When I look back, it's just amazing how quickly things change when you become fearful of a situation. How your whole person completely changes because you're trying to hide the fact of what you're going through because you don't want anybody to know.
Was you embarrassed about it?
Totally embarrassed about it. I was fearful of the reactions of people that would be around me, the effects that it would have on other people, trying to keep it from my son, although my son lived with us, trying to pretend that everything's all right all the time, covering up black eyes and covering up bruises all the time. And I suddenly became isolated because he would then say, these people, if they really, he would become, the things that I'd shared with him, he suddenly used to use them against me, and like it suddenly became all my insecurities. He said that if people really loved and cared about you, they would know what you're going through. They're not here for you. Like, this is you. This ain't me. If you didn't act like that, this wouldn't happen.
Did you find that he mentally abused you as well?
Totally. I think more so the torment inside of it was actually more worse because it made me. I started to question everything about myself. I suddenly thought that I went from a person who felt I knew myself and knew what I was about to suddenly questioning every single aspect. He would comment about my weight, he would comment about the way I looked, about the way I acted in front of people. He'd say I was either too much, too little, I was either too happy, I was too sad. And suddenly I just didn't know who. It's just amazing. It's just amazing when you look back, and I just think that it was so part of my life, and it was because I was paralysed through fear, and that's what kept me there. Is being paralysed through the fear of not knowing where to go, who to go to.
Did you feel like you had lost your identity in some way?
Totally. And I totally felt that I lost my own identity, and I suddenly became almost prideful in the fact that, in trying to hide the fact that I was going through it, I'd make extra effort in the way that I looked, in the way to try and really cover up the fact that what was really going on behind closed doors. There'd be situations when we was out and someone would be talking to me, and I could tell by the look on his face that I'm really going to be in trouble when I get home. And the whole time then I'm totally panicking, shaking, thinking that I just didn't know whether I was going to really make it through. I really didn't know, and I didn't know how to get out of it either.
When was if you look back, and I know it's probably not easy to talk about, but what would be the worst incident that you would ever experience with him?
The worst, where he actually tried to take my life, because he actually got done. I mean, the police, the neighbours became very fearful for my life. The police were involved in the matter. They were constantly called out because of the constant screaming and stuff. But the one actual main attack is he attacked me in front of my son. He dragged me from the top of the stairs to the bottom of the stairs, was stamping on my face where I had an imprint of his his foot on my face. Yeah, I'm okay. My son, in fear, had tried to get a knife, and my son was only young then, 9, 10. He tried to get a knife and to stab him with the knife, but he dropped the knife, and for a long time after, my son had continuous nightmares of the fact that the knife that he picked up, that he'd picked it up and killed me with the knife.
Of course.
And that was the worst because he knocked me completely unconscious. I had bruising all around my face, stamp marks all around my face. That was the worst time. But I think that was the worst time as the violence is concerned. But it caused me a lot. My nose had been broken. I had constant black eyes. My nose was broken in 2 parts. I jumped, say, from 2 blocks that are on top of each other. Trying to get away from him, I ran and jumped and hung over a balcony and jumped, which was 2 houses on top of each other, in times to get away from him. But it was just difficult. I felt that the people that were around him made me feel that I shouldn't really like, that I somehow had to change it. Like, I somehow had to change it. I just did. I felt like I had nobody. I just couldn't tell my family. I couldn't tell anybody. And so he became my whole dependency in me trying to help him.
Yes. Did you feel at any point that you were to blame for his behaviour?
Most definitely, most definitely. I felt if I hadn't have said that, if I hadn't have acted like that, if I didn't dress like that, if I just woke up every day walking on eggshells, totally on eggshells.
What was the turning point for you? When was the point that you said, you know what, I need help now, this has got to stop?
Okay, in the process of this, he was a part of a church. He had like a mother in Christ, that's who she used to call herself to him, who, when all of this was going on, I would speak to her. When the police were involved, I would speak to her, and she would advise me that I shouldn't get him arrested, the consequences of how it would look, consequences maybe on his children. So I started to carry the guilt. But my thing is that I needed somebody there for me. I had a son now, I didn't have no one, and I just felt that the people that he was involved with, that were